Hey guys, it's Bro You Whack, and it's Tuesday, which usually means it's an Overwatch 2 update day, and well, we're definitely getting that, not only to the shop and to some skins, but also to some heroes. That's right, we got some hero changes today, in what is probably one of the smallest updates that we've gotten up to date. Now, it's not the mid-season patch, it's probably going to come either next week or maybe 2 weeks after today, but we got some very interesting changes, to say the least. A lot of people specifically have been having problems with D.Va, and well, she's not included in these updates, but we did get changes to Winston, Ashe, Sombra, but more importantly, what I'm most excited about, Juno. Now, while they decided to nerf Winston, I literally have no idea, especially when you consider what they decided to change, because they're going to be reducing Winston's Tesla cannon damage from 75 damage per second to 70. Why? Winston's the most unproblematic tank right now, especially when you consider who's actually good, like D.Va, like I mentioned before, Mauga, which, okay, admittedly is a lot worse now in Season 12, but Winston, our favorite scientist that likes to eat bananas and peanut butter? I guess it makes sense in the context of knowing that half of the squishy hero's health got reduced from 250 to 225, but I thought that was mainly just to make it so that, like, Hanzo can try to be a little bit more meta relevant, not really Winston. Now, again, Winston's the only tank that got changed in this update, but this is not considered the mid-season patch, so I imagine that in a couple of weeks we will see some sort of D.Va nerf. We will see some other tanks also get nerfed, like maybe even Reinhardt, even though a lot of people like when Reinhardt's meta. He's definitely the best tank right now, and knowing Blizzard, they would want to ruin Reinhardt's fun. Now, when we look at the two DPS heroes that got changed, it's both going to be Ashe and Sombra. Now, one of these heroes people absolutely hate, and one absolutely loved, and then there's Ashe. I was referring to Bob, but when we look at Ashe's change, it's all going to be to her Viper weapon. The reload's going to be a little bit slower because the reload per bullet is increasing from 0.2 seconds to 0.25 seconds. So if you were going to reload all 12 bullets, that's going to be a total increase of 0.6 seconds. But what is probably going to be one of the most devastating changes is that the primary fire damage is getting reduced from 40 damage per bullet to now 30. Now, just a reminder, this isn't her scoped in fire, this is just her shooting from the hip and spamming, so maybe it's not that bad when you think of it because you still have the skill shot rather than the cheese spam shot, but still, if someone's like diving you like Winston, because apparently he's so scary and menacing that he has to get nerfed, this is going to be a little bit devastating. But Sombra also got nerfed as well, where they're going to be reducing the damage to her virus from 90 total damage over time to now 75 damage over time. This, I think, was needed because, well, one, people just hate facing off against Sombra nowadays. They think that she is kind of like the Brigitte of the modern day of Overwatch 2, just ruining games. She's the fun police, and especially coming from somebody that's been playing kind of a lot of Sombra lately, she is very easy to play, and it's all due to the fact of her virus, because when you hack somebody and throw that, which is very easy to do, and then escape out of there, 9 times out of 10, you're gonna get the kill. So I can understand why they're nerfing Sombra, but I don't know, man. Like, Sombra's a lot of fun to play, but she's also very irritating to play against. So I think this change was needed for Sombra, but I know a lot of people will be clamoring for more Sombra nerfs. But here are the changes that we've been waiting for. The Juno buffs and nerfs, man, they just can't have Juno have fun. So, remember how they made those changes when Juno first initially released in Season 12? Well, they're going to be reverting it with this update by increasing the fire rate from 14.3 to now 15.5, meaning that you can shoot 34 bullets per second with her Medi Blaster. Thank God! Well, actually, like I said, there are some nerfs because they're going to be reducing the damage from 8 damage per bullet to now 7.5 and reducing the healing from 7 heal per bullet to now 6.5. Thank God. What this means for Juno is that she's going to be a lot more forgiving when she shoots her shot, because if you're firing a lot more shots that are less effective, you're going to make up those shots by firing, well, just more shots, rather than beforehand. If you were missing those same amount of shots, it doesn't matter if those shots were more powerful, well, you were still going to miss them, so it doesn't matter if they were more effective if you weren't going to hit those shots, because if you hit all 28 shots in a second with the previous 8 damage, then you would do a total of 224 damage. damage. But now if you shoot all 34 of those shots and do 7.5 damage, you're gonna do a total of 255 damage. And the same could also be said for the healing. Previously, if you shot all 28 of your bullets at 7 heal per bullet, you only did 196, where now if you shoot 34, yes, it's less healing, but you actually do a total of 221 heal. And this is the kind of change that I was pushing for originally when she first released the beginning of Season 12, because before Season 12, during the trial period, she was perfect, and I still stand by that. I thought she was the best hero to ever be released, where they didn't need to touch her, and then they ruined her. Now, some people did find some success with Juno because she has a higher skill gap than, say, someone like Lifeweaver when he initially first launched, and he was terrible, but I think with this change, it's gonna make her a little bit better into where she's just a normal support that if you play Juno, it's not a throw pick, but if you're bad with her, you're not gonna do that well with her, that type of thing. But for the other 3 heroes, what? I understand this isn't the mid-season patch. I understand if they're going to be bringing a lot more bigger changes, they're going to be waiting for the mid-season points, but I just wonder sometimes when I see these mini patches, why are they trying to like nerf Winston? Who was complaining about Winston? Who thought that Winston was this mighty powerful tank that was ruining all the games? And then ignore D.Va, who all of those things can be said for D.Va. And this is coming from a D.Va main who's just been terrorizing people in these comp games while playing my favorite E-girl. Look, I'm sure there's some people out there that think Winston needed this nerf, and well, there you go. And I'm sure those same people can also say that Ashe needed this nerf, and well, there you go. But again, I'm just wondering, where do they come up with these conclusions to decide these heroes? Because it's not just these mini patches, it's also other patches come every now and then at the beginning of the season, during the mid-season, that just leaves people wondering where are they making these decisions and on what basis. And that's just the main point that I'm trying to make in the latter half of this video, is that sometimes when they make these hero changes, it don't make no sense, man, compared to the other heroes that desperately needs it, whether they're super powerful or super underpowered. Like when you look at a hero like Symmetra, nobody ever talks about Symmetra because I feel like people like her being in the kind of lower tier of heroes to play, but she has not been gotten a look at in like what, a couple of months, a couple of years even, and she's still doing as bad as she's doing right now, but they decided to nerf Winston. Like what? Again, I'm not trying to focus on a hero like Symmetra saying, oh, she should have gotten buffed, but I think they should also just look towards the community, what they've been complaining about, which is D.Va and also Juno. They did great with this Juno change, at least on paper. We will see with the rest of the couple of weeks before the mid-season patch comes out, and then we'll see maybe one more other Juno change before she's finally left alone, but I don't know, man. It's just very questionable with the changes in the route that they've been going with these heroes, and it's got a lot of people upset and looking towards other games, and that's what's just so frustrating about Overwatch 2 right now, is that they have these little heartbeats where they're excited about, but it doesn't last as long as they would like to. Like with the release of Juno, people were excited for a little bit, and then that quickly tapered off. And I think some of it just goes towards the main core of Overwatch, which is the heroes and also the competitive mode. And after the rank reset, which I have my own problems with the rank reset, feeling like it just seems kind of useless. It's not really there for any sort of purpose. It's just, I don't know, man. It just, Overwatch right now, it's in a weird spot right now. Hopefully the mid-season patch will change a lot of these frustrations, but until then, I love you guys. Thank you guys for watching. More Overwatch 2 videos to come, and bye.